What if I told you that three words have financially devastated more families than almost anything else? Those three words? I'll do it later. Not because those families didn't care, not because they didn't love their children, not because they didn't want to protect their spouse, but because they believed they had more time. Today, I want to tell you about a husband who planned to take care of everything. He just never got a chance. And if you're someone who's been putting off this conversation, this video could be one of the most important things you watch all year. Let's get started. Hi, I'm Jessie. I'm a wife, I'm a stepmom, I'm someone helping care for my mother after health challenges, and every day I talk to families who love the people in their lives more than anything, just like I do. But love doesn't always pay a mortgage. Love alone doesn't cover funeral expenses. Love alone doesn't replace lost income. That's why today's conversation matters. I sat down with a husband who discussed protecting his family. He understood exactly why it was important. He had a wife and children, people who depended on him. And when we talked, he agreed that if something happened to him, the life would become incredibly difficult for the people he loved most. He wasn't against protecting his family. He was avoiding, he wasn't avoiding responsibility. He simply said something that I hear almost every single week. Let's do it later. Maybe you've said something similar. Maybe you've thought, I'll handle it later. I'll get around to it later. I'm busy right now. Money is tight. Things will settle down soon. And honestly, that's how most people think. Because none of us wake up expecting tragedy. None of us expect tomorrow to be any different from today. But life doesn't always ask permission. A short time later, the unexpected happened. He passed away. Suddenly, his family wasn't dealing with a future problem. They were dealing with a right now problem. And the mortgage still needed to be paid. The electric bill still arrived. The car payment didn't stop. And the funeral home still expected payment. And the person who always carried so much responsibility was gone. Imagine being your spouse in that situation. You just lost the person you love. You're grieving. You're trying to hold yourself together for your children. And while you're mourning, you're also wondering, how do I pay for everything? How long can I keep the house? What happens if I fall behind? Will the kids be okay? No family should have to ask those questions while they're grieving. Yet families ask them every single day. Not because they weren't loved, not because they weren't important, but because protection was delayed. Here's what I've learned. Most people don't avoid these conversations because they don't care. They avoid them because they love their family so much that they assume that they'll always be there. They believe they have time, but the greatest risk isn't dying. The greatest risk is leaving unfinished responsibilities behind. Think about the people you love most, your spouse, your children, your parents, your family. If something happened to you tonight, what would happen financially tomorrow morning? Would they be secure or would they be left scrambling? Would they inherit peace of mind or would they inherit stress? This conversation is personal for me. My faith teaches me that family is one of life's greatest blessings. My family is everything to me. That's why I have these conversations, not because I sell insurance, but because I believe families deserve peace of mind. I believe that people we love deserve protection. I believe responsibility is one of the greatest ways that we can show our love. If you've been putting this conversation off, don't let this video become another reminder that gets ignored. Take action, have the conversation, review your protection, make sure that the people you love are protected. Because the goal isn't preparing for death, the goal is protecting life for the people left behind. If this message resonated with you, comment the word protect below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Subscribe because tomorrow we're continuing our series, The Cost of Waiting, and we're talking about a family member who believed their work coverage was enough until they discovered that it wasn't. Remember this, the greatest gift you can leave your family isn't money, it's peace of mind. I'll see you in the next video.